All right, good morning, class. Professor, my name's Travis Gellerman. I'm going to be conducting my final presentation for public administration course. I'd first like to say thank you so much for the amazing semester. I learned a lot, and hopefully we'll be able to take this into my future endeavors. Jumping right in, I did my presentation on defunding the police. It's a very crucial issue right now, and the fight for justice of everyone being treated the way they should when it comes to police. Um, I first started my research paper with just the meaning, and essentially, defunding the police is just the idea that the police agencies would be losing millions of dollars, and rather than put it into just policing in general, it would be able to go back into social services that would really help ensure that the safety of the community is being upheld. Preventative measures rather than being responsive, because as we know, policing is a very responsive industry. And what this would do is it would allow for police agencies to really partner with those social services. And here, in that first photo, you can see defunding the police, pulling money out of there and putting it back into job training, affordable housing, education, things along those lines. How it started, I think a huge part of it was the death of George Floyd, very tragic. And unfortunately, with that, it sparked the idea that there are tragedies happening, and there are misuses of force that police agencies use. And I think that really sparked this massive demand for a safer community that our police are providing. Um, a couple more images there to show, but obviously the death from police violence was a huge spark for it, and defunding the police would put sources back into social services. Officers would need to focus on community-oriented policing and create a more positive approach on policing. I think we don't hear about it a lot, but community-oriented policing was a massive change. In just 20 to 30 years ago to today, policing is not the same. The relationship building that it takes, and really working with the community to, add value into the lives of the community around officers. But with that defunding, I think it's important to look at what negative impacts could be had. Right now we're being faced with the reality that if people do want to see those police agencies defunded, you are going to have layoffs, and with that, thousands of officers are being laid off. Programs for the youth that are meant to keep them off the streets and educated, those are being cut. So now you have these preventative, organizations and units within departments getting cut. You have officers being cut. Response times are taking longer. If you don't have an urgent call, they're not coming out at all. So you're starting to see, the spike in crime almost as we know about broken windows. As the communities here are being faced with crime, it's going to increase crime. So, it's kind of this pendulum and fine line of, at what cost are we going to fund the police and put money back into those social services while still ensuring that the public is safe. And I think that's kind of where the dilemma goes. So as we're starting to see, thousands of officers get cut, we're starting to see less coverage and higher crime rates. So that's something that we're going to have to face. But like there are always going to be other secondary options and ways to avoid police violence without defunding the police, through trainings, through, the relationship building with social services, rather than social services calling police when they need, police calling social services when they need, really creating a partnership and working together and utilizing each other's resources might be an option. So things like that are going to be the way to kind of pave a new future for policing without having to, maybe necessarily defund it. To wrap it up, defunding the police is an idea that keeps the community safe, and efforts to create a safer police force, cuts in police agencies would alleviate more money for social services. Then with those cuts, the layoffs of officers would occur and could potentially hurt the safety of citizens. Um, and I think it's just, maintaining that level of, if we do cut, how much can we cut without having to lose, that police presence that's going to, cause more or less violence. But anyways, thank you so much. I had a great semester, and good luck.